Hi, this is Miss Tessie with Perfect Start Learning, and I wanted to check in with everybody. I am at the CAE. Ooh, it's a lot of letters. It's the California arm of the NAEYC, and I'm at the conference today. And I have already mapped out all of the classes that I am actually going to take today. So I'm going to tell you about it before I go in, even though I am a little bit late. What classes that I am going to take today. So when I go through and I pick out classes, I try to avoid things that I have done the year before so that I can actually learn new things. A lot of the stuff that I'm interested in tends to overlap, so I want to make sure that I get different sessions every day that I'm at a conference. So today's schedule is, I'm actually late for this one, so I actually need to start running towards it, is steam coming out of my ears. That one is trying to teach teachers how to address children who are having a hard time with their emotions, and how and teach them the proper way to direct their emotions. Later on, I will be going on to another one called The Power of Optimism, and then that one is the keynote speaker, and so I will have more on that one later on. I could not figure out what I wanted to do for the 2 to 3:30 spot. I'm having a hard time picking that one out, but I did find one for the 4 to 5:30. Yeah, I have a full day. And that one is using video-based reflection to support FCC providers. And I was super excited to see that there was actually more offerings for FCC providers at the conference. I know a lot of the sessions and a lot of the reasons that FCC providers end up not attending some of these conferences and joining the organizations is because they feel like it's not directed at them. And as a forum facilitator for NAEYC, I just wanted to let everyone know that they do offer more things. They are trying to make sure that family child care providers are included. We are early education professionals, and there is no reason that we should not be included in these conferences. So make sure you show up to these conferences so that they can hear us and know that we are there. So I will come back and let you guys know exactly what I worked on today and what I learned, and pass that knowledge on. All right, thank you. Hi, I'm back. I attended my first session. It was not the session that I had initially said I was going to attend. That session was actually full, so I wasn't able to stay there. They kicked me out because I was sitting on the floor, and they said it was a fire hazard. But before I left that session, which was steam coming out of my ears, which was addressing strong emotions in children, I did get to hear that children with strong emotions do not need a time out, they need a time in. So this is something that I've decided I will address in another video, and we can have a conversation about how you think dealing with children with strong emotions works in your classroom, and if you agree that there shouldn't be a time out but a time in, and we can have that more in-depth conversation. So I had to go and choose a new session, and the new session that I had to choose was STEAM easy and accessible to any making STEAM easy and accessible to any program and any child. So there were 3 things that I took away from this video. The first thing was let children fail. As teachers, we have a tendency to want to give children examples of the things that we are getting ready to do in the classroom, and sometimes that is actually not to the child's benefit. Letting them, giving them the tools and then asking them to do something is actually a really good way to help a child develop good thinking skills, thinking out of the box, critical thinking. And one of the activities that they showed us as an example was called being a captain of the Titanic. So you're a captain of the Titanic, the ship is going down, and you want to save as many people on the boat as possible. So you set out tools, and this would be a water play type thing. So you set out tools. Here they say using coins and aluminum foil. So I know for some programs you're not allowed to use coins and stuff as play because it may be considered a choking hazard. So one of the things I thought was a good idea was to take the children on a nature walk, have them pick out items from nature, rocks, leaves, sticks, things like that, and having them go through and doing the same project and making a boat and trying to see how many items they can place on their boat until it sinks. If you do have older children, using coins is a good idea because then you can actually work on teaching them money or just the different types of coins that are in money. So I really like this project. It is a good idea for you to just set the project out, explain what the end game of the project is, and then tell them to explore how they would want to get to it. Letting children fail or explore how to get there is teaching them resilience. It's teaching them to not give up, and it's teaching them critical thinking. This is all important things that they need to know. The second thing that I learned was you don't need to buy expensive things for you to do STEM in your classroom or STEAM. The reason for this is that as family child care providers and even preschool teachers, you have access to things in your home that can actually help children with STEAM activities. You don't need to go out and buy expensive kits. I love these expensive kits. I'm not going to lie. I've been down to the lakeshore at the conference, and I saw a whole bunch of STEM things that I want to buy for my classroom, but I don't actually need to spend $20 to $30 per kit to actually build all of these things and introduce STEAM into my classroom. I can use common household items. I can use empty jars. I can wash them out and put them into my STEAM area. I can buy cheap magnets. You can go to the dollar store, the bin at Target. You can find all kinds of things that you can buy in bulk on Amazon that are very cheap and would keep your STEAM area up and ready to go for children to use at any point in time. And the third thing that I actually loved, I absolutely love this idea, and I actually will be implementing it in the new school year, is holding a STEM night. Now, this is something that I think was such a good idea because I am very big on family engagement and making sure that families are included in the learning process. Preschool is a very effective tool for children as they move into their traditional school careers or maybe homeschooling. But making sure that your parents are involved and that there is a home to school or school to home connection is just as important. Teachers are not the sole educators in a child's life. Parents are also educators, and making sure that parents are engaged and know what's happening in your classroom is a very important component in preschool education. So a STEM night, you would have your STEM areas all set up, and the children have already been introduced to the different STEM areas. So they will be the ones taking their parents from area to area, showing them the different things that they have done during the day with you and teaching their parent about their education. This is something that I think is a really good idea. It allows the child to take control. It allows the parents to be engaged. It is a very good idea, and I will be having one in my next school year. Now, those were the three things I took away from this session. The one thing that I did want to add was carts. STEM carts. They said that they have STEM carts in their program, but they are also a center type program. And as a family child care providers, we don't have the room for us to have different carts for the different parts of STEM. So I thought that what we could do to modify this is we have one cart. And on this one cart, you can either have the different STEM areas represented on each cart that still makes it so that the children have access and can play with it during free time. Or what you do is you do have the one cart in your classroom, but you have bins in which each of these STEM areas are stored. So you can change the STEM area out monthly, every couple of months. Leave, for example, if you have set up a math cart, have the math area all set up. You have several different types of math activities that you might switch out, but you have it in a bin that's easily accessible, that's easily stored, and doesn't take up as much space. And then when you're done with the math cart, you can put everything back and switch everything out for an engineering cart or a science cart or a technology cart, constructing cart. These are things that you can put up in your classroom, and that would make it easy for family child care providers and smaller preschools that do not either have the funds or they do not have the room to store different carts for these areas. So I really like this session. I'm very excited that I was able to attend it. I'm super sorry I didn't get the steam coming out of my ears, but I am looking forward to the other two sessions that I will be attending today. So I look forward to speaking to you about those. Thank you.